What's going on, Pacer Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice Pacers. Guys, we are officially to draft day. The Indiana Pacers, as it currently stands, do not have a day one, round one draft pick as of now. Now, could that change? It very much could. But, guys, I want to address this because this just came out a little bit earlier today on the Pat McAfee show. So, Brian Windhorst, who covers the NBA for ESPN, he was on Pat McAfee's show earlier today, was kind of talking about the NBA draft, talking about specifically the Indiana Pacers, and this is kind of what he had to say. He said, I think the Indiana Pacers are active from what I understand. He said, that they have obviously Tyrese, they have, Pascal Siakam locked in. He added that TJ McConnell's pretty much untouchable for them. He said, I really do feel like the Indiana Pacers are wanting to get Tyrese Haliburton some help, right? They're trying to get Tyrese some help back there, right? Because obviously they were in the Eastern Conference Finals. You see some of these teams like the New York Knicks making that mega trade. And so you see all this stuff kind of happening, and the Indiana Pacers are a team that is looking and see some opportunities that are on the horizon. He said, I think the Indiana Pacers are interested in some names. He said, I don't think it's going to be like an all-star level player, but the Pacers are definitely in on a few different players. Now, obviously that begs the question, which type of players are the Indiana Pacers, interested in, when it comes to that. And so, a lot of people are kind of throwing out the idea of potentially a wing type of player, kind of a guy out there that can help out with Tyrese. Obviously talking about a guy like an Andre Drummond, who's a big rebound guy. There's a ton of different names that people could throw. I know I saw Lauri Markkanen from the Utah Jazz. I mean, there's just so many names that Chad Buchanan and the Indiana Pacers could go after, right? So you could just go down the list and name all of these different players that the Pacers could go get, and obviously they could trade up as well. In the draft, they have, multiple second round picks. So could they trade back into the first round? That's a possibility for the Pacers, but there's definitely some opportunities here for Indiana to add another really key piece to this roster, or a couple pieces to this roster, to really help them moving forward when it comes to that. And you just don't know which route the Pacers could go. Could they package some of those, trade up for a player? Could they potentially, trade some of those picks, or, sign a guy in free agency, right? There's a ton of things the Indiana Pacers could do. And again, OG Anunoby, I know, is a big name right now that a lot of people are talking about, actually from the New York Knicks, who's going to enter free agency. So could that be a possibility? I don't know. It depends on your definition. Do you think OG is an all-star type of player or not? How do you define that, right? There are just a ton of different options for the Indiana Pacers, right? I'll run down the list real fast, just in case you guys are curious. Some names that I know have kind of been thrown around for the Indiana Pacers right now. These are just, there's just so many different guys, right, that the Indiana Pacers could be interested in. So, guys, there's just a ton of ways the Indiana Pacers could attack this right now. And obviously it starts with the draft first and foremost. We're going to have to see what they do, which targets, which guys that they have identified as some guys that could potentially really help them, or who's a player or two that Indiana potentially can trade for. So, guys, curious what your thoughts are here on the Indiana Pacers, on some guys the Indiana Pacers should be targeting via either the draft or, trading during the next couple days. So let us know your overall thoughts in the comments down below. But just wanted to talk about this since it is very recent type of thing that was brought up regarding the Indiana Pacers trying to get help for Tyrese Haliburton and kind of continuing to stock, the cupboard when it comes to their roster in a very tough East. And it feels like the New York Knicks about every year are just, continuing to make these big splash moves. So does Indiana do something like that? We shall see when it comes to that. But, guys, let us know your thoughts. That'll do it for this one. Thanks, guys, as always. And as always, go Pacers.